Okay. Woo!
What?
And just the giggles.
She's a grandma freak. Grandma freak. My name is Alan,
I'm Kiara.
and together we are the.
Okay. Take two.
Hi, I'm Alan,
I'm Kiara.
and we wanted to put together a video about us.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Ultimately, it was at the Ocala Civic Theater. I was working this important job that was very fulfilling, but I felt like I needed something to feed my soul. I felt drawn to the theater. That always fills me with this sense of joy, but that would be a really big time commitment. So I prayed about it. I spoke with Alba about it, and everything seemed to line up just right. So I auditioned, and I was cast, and I was looking for life, and I found that. But more importantly, I found Kiara.
Yeah, we met in the theater. At the time, I had just quit my job teaching, which I love teaching, but I don't know, just that season of life, I was really overwhelmed, I guess, and just had no more energy, nothing left to give. So I heard God telling me to quit. So I quit my job without any kind of backup plan. It was crazy, but when God says go, you go. And so then I started spending time in the chapel every Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. And just being there, I was getting this message that He wanted me to write and to direct. So I ended up writing my own show and was getting ready to direct that over at Blessed Trinity, where we're getting married. I got this job offer from the Ocala Civic Theater to be the fight director for Dracula. And if you know me, you know I love vampires, so I couldn't say no to this one. And so I went, and Alan was at the audition, but I kind of had my director hat on, so I wasn't paying much attention to that. I wasn't looking for dating. So he gets cast, and I was like, awesome, he's great for the role. But then during the rehearsal process, he was someone who was just constantly making me laugh. And so I was like, okay, that's got my attention. So yeah, that's how we met.
That's how we met.
Yeah.
How did I ask you out?
The way he asked me out was through text. I get that doesn't sound romantic, but it was clever. So I asked him in this text message. I said rehearsal ? That was it. And he got all panicky, like, what? Was there rehearsal today? I was like, no, I was just asking to see if you had rehearsal. It was like, I was just making conversation. And so I clarified. I was like, no, I'll just use complete sentences next time.
So I replied, date? With a question mark.
And I said, what?
And then I said, how would you feel about me taking you out on a date?
And I said, I would love that.
And so we did. I knew that Kiara loves laughing, and that's one of the most enchanting and charming things about her is her laugh, her smile. I love chasing your smile. And so I knew that for our first date, it had to be something that was pretty centered on humor. So I took her to a live improv comedy show.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. Yeah, but the tough part about that date was I had to tell him, hey, I just auditioned for this place, Sight and Sound Theater, and it's all the way in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. If they offer me the job, I'm going to go. So I just wanted to be completely upfront with him.
So there's this really big part of me that was like, cool, good luck with that. But there was also this part of me that sort of whispered, don't let this one go. And I knew that this would be a tough road. But I also knew that she's a keeper. So I'm really glad that I listened to that part of me that said, Hold on to her. Because now we're getting married.
Alan did. We were sitting on this couch, just like this. And we do this thing at the end of a day that we call it our check-in, where we just check in with each other and see, how was your day? What was the hardest part of your day? How can I support you tomorrow? A check-in. And so we were just having one of those conversations here. I think it was when was it? November?
That sounds about right.
I think it was
It
November.
was early.
Yeah.
It was pretty early
Yeah.
on.
And then here we were, just sitting down, laughing about something dumb, as we usually do. As we often do. and then he goes, oh, by the way, I meant to tell you, I love you. Just like that. Like, oh, by the way, there was this thing, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wait, what?
And she wasn't saying it back. So
I did say it back, and it was very natural. Yeah.
It's still true.
It is.
I love you.
Good, I hope so. I would hope so.
For me, it was when my previous employer sent me to a training in Connecticut. And I learned so much about myself during that trip. One day during that trip, all these different things started clicking for me. And it just seemed to make sense. It felt like God told me, hey, you are going to marry this woman. And the idea of God saying that to me, I felt so much peace about it.
I was directing this show, Story of My Life, and it was a show I'd written, like a cabaret that I'd put together, and I was running around like a crazy person, just trying to do all of these different jobs that are typically done by several people, and I was trying to just do it all. So, yeah, it was the last day of the show, and he gathers all of the actors and crew together, sits them down and says, okay, so in order for us to strike everything, pack it all up, and us to get out of here quickly, we're going to go ahead and organize who's going to take care of what. He did this all without asking me. And it was such a peaceful and helpful thing. I had a partner in that moment. That's when I knew. That was when I knew.
I knew that I couldn't do it without asking for her parents' blessing and permission. So I came to their house in May, and Doris had planned this surprise birthday party for Alba. So while they were celebrating and Alex was there sharing stories with Alba, I asked Freddie if we could sit down and talk. And I told him that I love his daughter very much and that I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And I asked if I could have his permission to ask her to be my wife. And then your dad did like the coolest thing. He said, this is an important conversation, so let me bring my wife into this conversation too. And I thought, this is a beautiful example of what partnership can look like. And you were just talking about partnership in general. So I showed them the ring that my grandmother had given me. She said, you can take this and give it to someone special.
Alan sent me a package with very specific instructions. And it's not like a ring box. It was like a box. Like, he had these instructions like, it can't be on a windowsill. Don't shake it. There's like specific room temperatures. And I'm like,
don't keep it in the refrigerator.
It's like, what is all of this? It was all bullshit.
Well, I didn't want her to know what was in the box.
Well, anyway, he eventually comes up, and we were sitting in his hotel room. He was very specific about having a couch in the hotel room. So I found us a couch in the hotel room. So we sat there, and he opened up the package, and it is this gorgeous photo album that he made chronicling our time together. And in it, it was just like the sweetest things. He had text messages, like our first texts ever. He got pictures of my leaving to Lancaster, my meeting my 2 new roommates up there, Phoebe and Sylvia, meeting his father for the first time, hanging out with Alba.
This album intentionally was only ever going to be half filled by the time I presented it to her. And I said that I wanted to spend the rest of my life filling more albums with you, filled with these really special moments.
And then on, like, there ends up being like this empty page. But then he's like, oh, I forgot one more photo I wanted to put in the album.
Because in the meantime, I had spoken with Father Pat and asked him to bless this ring that my grandmother had given me. And I was able to capture that moment as well. Mm-hmm. And so I'm adding this picture. And as she's looking at it, I get down on a knee.
Oh, I was like sobbing. He proposed, and I was like, I could barely say yes, but I'm just like nodding furiously and telling him how much I loved him. And then after that, we prayed. He said, can we pray? And it was the best, most beautiful moment, one of the happiest days of my life. So, yeah.
Beyond getting married, I mean, there's a lot of things that we don't know, and that's okay. What we do know is that as long as we put God first, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward to creating lots of new memories to fill this album with. We're looking forward to spending more moments with each and every one of you. Mm-hmm. And we're just looking for ways to be a blessing to other people with this marriage that we're creating.
Mm-hmm. So if you can't make it, please do pray for us. Hold us in your prayers that this union can be a blessing for each other, a blessing in the sight of God, and a blessing for other people. That's really what we want to do with this. That's what's next. That's what we want. We'll see you in June.
Bye.